joining me today is a unique experience. We're going to do a triple cast for you. I have two members from my team, Regen. Joining me tonight is RisingStar and SoLucky. Welcome to the stream, guys. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right, so lots of hype already being shown by these co-casters of mine. We're going to hop right into it. The first map we have for you is going to be on Dragonshire. So I'm going to go ahead and click this Watch with Others button. We're going to get the lobby started up for you. Lucky, I guess I'll start with you, man. Any thoughts going into a Dragonshire map? The types of things that you like to see going into here?
Dragonshire, I think what's standard right now is having, a good top laner that can kind of just handle himself, and then having decent wave clear, protection, and kill pressure in the 4-man between the mid and bot lane.
Oh my gosh. And now Judge Bread is informing me that Infernal Shrines was actually game 1. So we're going to quit this replay and go back to the real game 1.
All right.
They were labeled in the replay folder there, or the channel. So I guess we'll switch that around.
I would just like to say my original statement does apply also to Infernal Shrines. A good top solo laner that can kind of handle himself, and then a good wave clear, kill pressure, and rotations between the mid and bot lane.
You already knew.
I knew ahead of time. Part-time psychic.
Funny, I was like already working on my like a write down on like this is what they should be doing. You need to look out for this and this, but it's like, oh, it's next map. I'll wait.
Same thing. I'm working too, I guess, more on Infernal. Just about the same though.
But I don't know the comps for the Infernal game, so I'll have to wait to see that.
Alright, almost loaded into this incorrect game, and I'm going to hit quit replay right away.
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. Alright, so what was labeled as game 2 is actually game 1. Or maybe I labeled it that. Maybe that was my fault.
Let's just blame Murda.
Yeah, just blaming me is easier.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
Alright, so are you guys both out?
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to hit this
You can
button
start the next
again.
one.
Okay, so it is Infernal Shrines. Again, our teams tonight are Divine 9 and Team Conflict. I know a few of you are hanging out here in the channel. Jason and Judge Bread, thank you so much for stopping in. A problem occurred while connecting to the game. Please try again. Okay, we will try again.
I'm having some issues as well.
Let's try just reforming the party really quick.
Probably good.
Alright, now the button's there, hitting the button.
You know, that does make sense. Dragonshire is in fact in front of Infernal. Alphabetically. Leave it. Join it again, I guess. Can you invite me again?
Yeah, it like didn't make the lobby. That's so weird.
I got put into it for some reason.
Okay, I see me and Rising now. Can you join,
All right,
Lucky?
let me try and manually join. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Hitting start game then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's working, guys. We got this.
Took a little bit. Ooh, I like that D9 comp.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick comp. The Anubrak, the Gul'dan, the Lucio, the Sonya, and the Junkrat. I think Junkrat, he has a place in this meta. We saw him come out. If you were watching HGC today, just that last set, I believe the Leftovers ran a Junkrat in game 1, was it?
Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, game 1. That's the game they almost won too. They should have won that game.
And wasn't it Infernal Shrines?
Yeah, it was Infernal Shrines.
Okay, so this is an HGC sort of hero selection.
Junkrat seeing some HGC play, that's pretty big. Maybe one of the first times.
They also
If not
had
first.
there was also high priority for Lucio and Sonya in that same game. They didn't get it, however. They had
All right, let me introduce some teams here. On the left-hand side, we have Dankstrom going to play that Anubarak. Jay Zahn, the caster himself, going to play the Lucio. Judge Brett, also here in chat right now. He's playing the Sonya. Ribley going to play the Gul'dan. And rounding it out is Axon on that Junkrat.
On the right-hand side, we have Team Conflict. We have Joker 490 Frozen on the Falstad, Rexpa on the Chromie, Quantica on ETC. We have Taki playing the Malfurion, and top lane we have Snarky Tiger on Leoric.
Yes.
That scouts, that mount and Skinnergy, holy.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Leo. That is looking beautiful.
So on Team Conflict is actually someone I'm very familiar with. It's Rexpa. He was a member of the Division B champions from Season 2, Team Alaska. So here he is joining a brand new team this season. In Season 3, he's going to play for Team Conflict, moving over to the Western region. And this is one of his favorite heroes, that Chromie, showing up here on Infernal Shrines. You guys have any thoughts on Chromie here?
I think she's pretty strong for a kill setup, but I don't know how well she'll do on shrines in general. Because she's essentially their only AoE damage with her W.
Yeah, so he really likes setting up with those slowing sands around the entry points onto the shrines. Makes sure that the teams aren't able to just walk right in and take advantage of the positioning that their team has already set up. So we'll see if that comes into play later on at level 8 when Chromie gets her ultimate.
They also have strong synergy with the Chromie pick with Malfurion and ETC, however. They can pretty easily set up kills after Power Slide.
I was going to touch on that too, actually. You beat me to it, Rising. Yeah, I do like... I was going to say I didn't like Chromie as much against the Lucio comp because your Lucio, as you know, gives movement speed to all his teammates that are around an AoE area. But you do have the on Team Conflict, you have this set up for Chromie. So if you can get a power slide into a root, into a combo, into ETC setting his knockback, it's a lot of damage to deal with.
Chromie is pretty all or nothing here.
So let's take a look up at the top lane. Already Junkrat having a favorable trade into this Falstad. Below half health is Falstad right now, and it looks like Junkrat in his range is actually doing some decent work up there.
He is definitely poking him out, and I think Falstad has to kind of read his trades when he can trade and when he can't, because he's definitely getting outranged right now. He's taking free poke, so it might either be time to back and fly or maybe tap, but he's got to figure out a way to maybe play the lane a little better, and it does look like he's going to back.
Falstad's also one of the few characters Junkrat can actually bully off of globes. He struggles with that against most other solo laners, but Falstad he can actually do it against.
So we saw a camp be taken by Judge Brett on that Sonya, able to push down this mid lane, and it looks like Divine Nine's going to go over to their Shaman camp up on the top hand side of the map. Going to time it nicely with this shrine activating, although it will be at the top, so it could be an easy clear for Team Conflict. But let's just keep track of all this movement going on. Sonya is also at the bottom of the map picking up that Khazra camp, so that's going to have plenty of free time to push. And I think positioning right now, it's probably going to favor Team Conflict moving into this, just because they already have Quantaka on that ETC showing up here. Falstad was already up here to begin with, and the full team's here ready to go. Sonya's still in the bot lane, Gul'dan still in the mid lane clearing out of camp.
I personally think their weak shrine clear will actually hurt them here because they were there earlier. They cannot, I think D9 will have more map pressure and they can come out up even later because Team Conflict will have a struggle cleaning up the shrine.
It looks like Team Conflict is just gonna try and get this objective, while Divine Nine is committed to just split pushing. You see Sonya. Sonya's doing a lot of work right now. Already took down the bottom cannon on the first wall, and there's still a completely healthy siege camp pushing with it. So Sonya's gonna get a ton of value right now. Falstad, you see, does want to match the soak because Divine Nine is already ahead in experience, about almost a full level. I would say 75% to a full level.
Yeah,
and Sonya is continuing to push.
I'd say let's not underestimate Leoric and his clear potential. If he maybe moves into some more of the AA buff talents later on, which you don't see normally, but if that's the strategy they want with him being the shrine clear, maybe it's worth going into.
I mean, even if the enemy team has bad Shrine Clear, you still have to at least contest it to get value out of that, which they didn't do whatsoever.
Oh, Chromie hitting a nice sandblast. He's trying to Chromie. Let's see. On Chromie stacks, we have 19 stacks.
Nice side stab by Judge though.
Yeah, so that's just the comfort of Rexpa on that hero, like I mentioned earlier. He loves playing Chromie, and you had the false start there to clean up the kill on the Sonya, so great job. Team Conflict getting the first kill of the game. That's first blood. But let's check out this top side, because we do have a Punisher pushing through as Snarky Tiger, Quantaka, and Taki are working on the wall. They can't quite make it there before the the Punisher dies. But they will retreat, and they ended up getting down the top wall, so a good push.
Did some fort damage.
Yeah, a little bit of fort damage. It matched what Sonya was able to do in the bot lane, so I think it's about an even trade. We're about dead even on XP. What a great slide there by Quantaka onto that Anubrak. Dangstrom gonna have to try to move away. Lucio showing up now.
Oh my God.
The bit of the heal.
There we go.
There it is. So here's some more macro pressure coming out. Judgebred trying to start up that Khazra camp on their own side of the map, but ETC gonna see it. Quantaka all over it. Power slide onto two members here. The roots are gonna come out from Malfurion, and here's the damage from Rexpa and that Chromie. Can't it connect? He's gonna fall. ETC falling out there.
I think you underestimated being attacked by Gul'dan for like 10 seconds straight.
Oh, did you see Axon with that mine knocking Leo back into the towers to finish off the kill on Snarky Tiger there? So Lucky, moving into level 10, keeping an eye on these ultimates, anything particular that you want to see, especially maybe this Junkrat, two viable options that could come out from him? Did we lose Lucky?
We might have. I mean, I think he'll probably just go for the mosh pit interrupt. Yeah, there it is.
Alright, so yeah, it is the Riptire.
I feel like that was a little necessary with ETC being on the other side. Otherwise, he would have had a pretty good case for Riptire, for Rocket Ride, however.
So more macro pressure coming out. It's going to be in the form of this Khazra camp on the bot side. The Hourglass stopping Sonya before she can contest on that capture point. And then you also have now in the top lane, it's ETC soloing up against this Junkrat, which I do not think is a favorable matchup at all. Again, we mentioned Junkrat having that range, able to poke out whoever he's up against in that lane. So this 4-man push in the bot side is going to heavily favor Divine 9, only because there is no main tank to show up. It's just Leoric, who's not the best at peeling for his team, especially that Chromie and this Malfurion.
That's one on a little bush trap, but it got spotted.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a big Chromie blast just land on top of all four of them. Nonetheless,
I think if Chromie was in E range, she would have had a little bit of a problem.
Oh yeah.
Noob.
Nonetheless, though, we do have another shrine spawning. This one's going to be in the bot lane. I think it's Frozen. Did we see which one it was? No, it's a Mortar Punisher. Okay.
You can see based off the gem at the top of the pillar.
And right off the bat, Anubrak getting chunked down, now at about 20% health, has to retreat, and this is going to be a full back for her over to the tap at the mid side. So positioning is now set up for Team Conflict. Rexpa, as I mentioned, probably going to set up that slowing sands that does come down on the backside to protect the flanking angle that looks like Sonya is ready to take. Instead now, it's engaged by Anubrak, and the perfect slide by Quantaka to stop it. The Riptire is going to drop. Leo taking the full grunt of that one. Can't walk away. He's down. The Cocoon was huge, taking Falsehead out of that and wasn't able to use the Gus until he was broken free. So double kill for Divine 9, and now Shrine positioning is all theirs with Ribley on this Gul'dan, and also having the Sonya able to clear up all of these monkeys here in the pit. I think this has got to go over to Divine 9.
Hey, sorry guys, I had to step out for a second. Was talking to my roommate. Wasn't sure if anyone was calling my name. I was not ignoring you, Murda, if you were calling for my input.
Oh yeah, you missed one. It's okay.
So it looks like Divine 9 is controlling the shrine with the talent here, and it looks like they're going to secure that the objective right now. getting a kill
Strong
on the
pick with a newbie to
ETC.
get out.
Yeah, and you saw Nubrak drop to about 200 health there. Rexpa trying to get a sandblast onto him, but couldn't quite connect. And it looks like
Oh, that should be a
37,
kill away.
38. This is going to be going
that, man.
over to Divine 9.
That wall is open up bottom, and Team Conflict has to be careful here because the wall is open and they're down a talent here. They're lucky, Sonya is going mid, and this is a good strategy. And even in our games, this is what we like to do sometimes too. You see Sonya catching another juice big wave top for experience, just keeping up the experience lead.
Yeah, and the
Really
other thing
important.
too is you got to watch out for this Anubrak. If that Punisher wants to jump on you, Anubrak's going to be ready with his 1-2 punch and gets to be more stunned, more lockdown, and possibly having the Junkrat and Gul'dan finish off a kill. So you have to be really careful. And it's going to land on Rexpa. Does the burrow come out? It doesn't.
Oh, man.
Fortunately for him, he's able to walk away with his life. 200 on the health bar. And this is going to be a free wall as they're clearing up that Punisher, and great job right there by Divine 9, taking down a fort and the front wall on that bot keep, all the while Sonya getting the soak in the top. So they're on their way to 16, and Team Conflict still behind without their 13 talents.
It's quite possible to hit 16 around the same time that the other team will hit level 13.
I think Team Conflict, so Sonya did such a good job of stoking the side lanes. They caught an even bigger lead, and now it looks like Team Conflict is going to be in a rut here because they're hitting 13, but Divine 9 is about maybe half a wave short of hitting 16. So now this is another talent advantage for another 3 levels for Team Conflict to catch up to.
And it's certainly through the next shrine phase that will be spawning up top. And we see the prioritization right now, the rotation coming out from Divine 9. They know they want to keep the Shaman camp healthy. They want to put some siege onto this top fort, and especially get rid of this well right now before the shrine spawns, so they don't have to worry about Team Conflict having any chance of survivability into a contestation onto this top shrine.
Oh, they're full committing. You know what? I like this commit. Divine 9 is saying, we have 16. We also have a Merc camp pushing, which means we can stay on top of your fort because we have minions. You can't fight into us. You are 13. And we're going to make sure this next objective goes to your keep wall. So very good play by Divine 9, knowing their talent here, having that awareness, and pressing their advantage.
Yeah, they are completely relegated to having a Chromie defense right now. Falstead so far back, not even able to hit his hammer, but there's a great entomb. It's going to connect onto Gul'dan. The silence dropping from Malfurion, gonna hit him hard. Only 100 health, but he gets a quick heal there, and he's just barely escaping. And I think, was that a health stone that we saw come out?
Yeah, that was the health stone.
That was the health stone, giving him a little bit of extra life. So the full fight right now, it's going to be Divine 9 trying to take this. They have the advantage. It's level 16 up against 13. It's ETC falling now, as well as that Chromie. A double kill gonna fall. There's no defense now for Malfurion. He's gonna fall as well. And you're starting to see the pressure now that the Junkrat can apply. He's got his spread volley at level 16, throwing out some huge damage with those balls of destruction.
I would like to point out that Junkrat had multiple opportunities to use Riptire, which he didn't use. I would have loved to see it to happen there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a valid point. Axton probably could have ripped off some more kills with that Riptire.
Very close fight. Very close fight. I don't hate what Team Conflict was doing. I think there might have been a miscommunication, or maybe Leo just saw an opportunity, pulled out the Entomb very quickly to see if the team could follow up. But unfortunately, the Falstad wasn't there to finish, and it might have just been one of those opportunities where, we have to take it. We can't really communicate it. It's here. Let's see if we can react to it. And unfortunately, the Gul'dan just sneaks by, and then Divine 9 turns the team fight around and ends up getting a 2-for-0 trade.
I mean, Gul'dan should have been dead.
Yeah, you could tell it was like a little panic mode after they didn't get the kill, and they just had to commit to the fight. So I totally agree with what you're saying there, and it's very unfortunate for Team Conflict that they weren't able to secure that kill, because that might have been one of their only hopes of getting back into this game, especially now we see an Arcane Punisher pushing up the top lane onto a naked keep, and this is probably going to be the first keep of the game unless another miraculous defense attempt can come out here from Team Conflict.
I want to see Team Conflict either give up the keep or pull it mid, which is what Leo's trying to do. But you know, John Cena's got plans of zones. He says, you know what, I'm gonna smack on this top keep. You're not pulling me to mid.
And it's really these arcane laser beams that do the bulk of the damage and make it really scary to contest up into it. And that's a huge jump onto that Leoric. He's going to fall early. The Cocoon's going to come out onto the ETC from Team Conflict. Will there be follow-up here? And there's not. Quintaka's able to scoot away, but the Punisher says, hell no, you don't. You're about to die. A huge jump onto him, along with the Lucio barrier, but not enough to keep Lucio alive after that shield drop.
Very important counter kill. Very important counter kill here. So Team Conflict.
Oh, he was a little too long in the spawn there.
Yeah, don't sleep on this Wrath Sonya on the core though. It's falling quick. Judge Bread gonna be able to secure game number 1 here for Divine 9. GG, well played there. Congrats to game number 1 for Divine 9.
Very clean play coming up from Divine 9. The macro was very good. You know what? They didn't give their enemy, they didn't give Conflict really a chance with the EXP. They kind of just ran with it and said, we're gonna split push and macro the entire match and make sure you don't have an opportunity to really fight on even talent tiers. The one fight that Team Conflict had that was possible, that you know was kind of looking okay in their favor, was still down a talent tier. So really Divine 9 said, we're gonna make every team fight really just rough for you.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get into game number 2. This is going to be on Dragonshire. Looks like my Watch with Others button is illuminated. I'm going to click it and see if it works.
I think I'll have to reset up the party.
Nope, we're in. You guys there?
Ooh, we got lucky.
Ooh, so lucky. All right, so launching into game number 2. Again, this is going to be on the D-Shire. Game number 1 over to Divine 9, but I think the efforts we saw from Team Conflict have me hopeful that we'll have another great contest here, and I think this one might
Great portrait synergy.
I think this one might have been picked by Team Conflict, and if so, maybe they have a better strategy they want to pull out here, and it looks like we're ready to go.
We saw earlier today, we saw a HCC trying to pull triple warrior on this map. Both teams here decided to do opt the exact opposite, going for triple assassin.
Yeah, let me introduce the left-hand team. On the Hanzo, we have Ribley playing that. Anubarak again is Dangstrom. Axon gonna play the Li Ming. Judge Bread gonna be in that solo lane on Malfurion. And rounding it out is Jay Zong gonna picking up that Malfurion. Did I say Malfurion twice? I meant Malfurion.
You did, it's okay.
Okay, I meant Malfurion.
Guys, we're breaking the StarCraft 2 engine. We have 2 Malfurions in one match. I'm ready for this Malfurion meta.
And on the right-hand side is Team Conflict. Quintaka going to play Mirrodin. We have Joker 490 Frozen playing Greymane. Taki going to play that Lucio. Rexpa again on that Chromie. And in the top lane, we see Snarky Tiger playing Lunara.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my cue. Okay, on the right-hand side, Team Conflict. Oh, wait, no, you already did this, didn't you?
I did it. We're good.
Guys, I'm sorry. The double Malfurion meta is just kind of messed me up, so I'm all over the place.
Hanzo and Noob just kind of showed why I don't really agree with the Chromie prioritization. I don't know the exact draft order, but a Noob just does way too well against Chromie.
Yeah, it was a great stun lock by Dangstrom there, and the obviously the follow up from Li Ming is some of the best in the game if she can connect with the orb and the missile. So early first blood going over to Divine 9 right now, and it looks like the rotations are heavily favoring Divine 9 as well. But right now we see Li Ming kind of stuck out. Dangstrom gonna have to come to the rescue on that Anubarak. It's Rexpa again applying this damage. Dangstrom falling low. 20% health.
There's a nice storm bolt. Woolly finish. Very close.
Ooh,
but Joker 490 Frozen coming in with the Dark Flight, securing the kill. So right before Shrines, we're matched 1-1 on kills, about dead even now in XP. Shrine position on the bot is all for Divine 9 right now. But Kontaka, he says, I'm going to have to step in here and take this away from you, because right now I know we have a man advantage on the map, and Rexpa's got way too much poke to keep you anywhere from getting close to this. You see him already connecting. I think he's at 6 Sandblast hits already, so good start there to Chromie. Let's peek in at the top side, because we have a fight between Judge Bread and Snarky Tiger over this top altar. And showing up now is Ribley going to throw out that E to reveal where Snarky Tiger's hiding. And it's going to be a rotation now for Malthael down to the mid lane to help out Dankstrom.
So I just want to make a note. It's funny, these top lane rotations, you kind of see the matchups keep on changing. I believe, I'm not sure who was top lane first for Team Conflict, but we saw a good matchup for Team Conflict. We had the Lunara that can kite out the Malthael, and then I think Divine 9 was like, no, we don't like that trade. We're gonna send the Hanzo up there, and now Hanzo's kind of almost dominating out the Lunara, which is being out poker. Blue team does have Dragon cap. He's looking at her Dragon. They're trying to cap it.
Yeah, and it's Dankstrom burrowing in onto Quantaka and that Muradin there, but not enough damage follow-up from Li Ming and Malfurion here. So Quantaka is able to kind of scoot away, grab back the possession of that bottom altar, and he's going to use his third win now to get some health back, because Lucio early game, let's not forget, doesn't have the strongest of single target heals. So he has to wait and reset now, and position on the shrine is given back to Divine 9. Here he is re-entering the fight. And they're just going to trade pokes here. They're waiting for Rexpa to get the big hits and maybe follow up with Stormbolt.
Time Trap saves the Lucio stun. Lucio's kiting out. Can Murden get out? Murden leaps out.
And we missed a kill on the top side. I think the Greymane was up there fighting against the Hanzo, and Malthael showed up to secure a kill there. So
Hanzo in the meantime doing incredibly well on his quest. He only needs one more shot on Lucio to finish the first half of it, which is the most important half.
Yeah, Lucio's a tough target to hit. We'll see if he can get that. He's got to rotate to this bot lane. Huge burrow onto Quantaka there. Dankstrom securing a kill. And doesn't...
almost gets another reset.
Yeah,
Very
doesn't
close.
finish it there. And it's going to be more possession now over to Divine 9. But on the top side, we see Greymane securing the top. But Judge Bread, he's too spooky on that Malthael. Going to secure it right back.
Did he sneak it in? I think... oh, can Hanzo get this? Greymane is coming in the bush. He's not... oh, okay. This is good.
Hanzo can win his 1v1 if he's allowed to poke too much.
And Joker just says, you know, I want to poke this down, but I think they may... yeah. It looks like they're going to cap it. Oh, Greymane goes in with the Worgen. He may pay for it, though. Dankstrom misses his stun, so Greymane will get it away, but Divine 9's still capping that Dragon.
Yeah, first Dragon of the game going over to Divine 9, and they're going to get some siege on this mid wall while they have the minion wave intact with them right now. On the bot side, it's 2 members, but it's all about this Dragon Knight right now, and the pressure it's going to put on and open up this map for Divine 9 to work towards their second win of the night. And here, unorthodox, we see the Dragon Knight, that Hanzo player, rotating up to the top, trying to help out his Malthael a bit. Will the boot come on Lunara? And it will, but it's not perfectly lined up. She's able to scoot away through the middle there.
I'd like to point out that Dragon Knight going top is a pretty old strategy, where you try to get the front gate in the Sippy Cup, so that you'll pretty much be guaranteed to win the solo lane.
Yeah, good point there. If this Dragon can get through the wall, it doesn't look like it will, because Lunara and Greymane, 2 fantastic clears along with those 2 towers, able to get the Dragon Knight down to about 5% health, and Hanzo's timer is going to expire. Ribley now gonna be back in his solo lane, or will he rotate down to help his team on this fight? Because now we see a Nubarak burrowing in, and the roots just barely missing from Jason there. But I think this should be the first well of the game dropping, and that's gonna really, like you said, help in this lane to make sure there's no tap available. So the bot side is now gonna heavily favor Divine Knight.
Big turn.
Huge Dragon arrow, and now the Tormented Souls dropping. Perfectly timed.
Divine 9 saw that they had level 10. I'm really glad Divine 9 had the awareness once again It seems like this team is very aware of their talent tier advantages, and so it was a good bait. And if I'm Team Conflict, I'm not even. I'm out of that bottom lane a long time ago. You can't really, even with a Nubrak on Divine 9, you can't really be underneath your fort because with a Nubrak you can dive and you can have beetles just tanking tower shots. So Team Conflict not respecting Divine 9's level 10 talent tier advantage, and they pay heavily for it. They lose kills, they lose the fort, and you know, it looks like Divine 9 is in complete control here. Looks like they're going to make a rotation to the bottom Bruiser, and I'm assuming they'll also get their bottom Siege. A lot of times in this scenario, if the bottom fort is down, since the minion buffs, Bruiser with the Siege camp and your full minion wave is an it's an extremely oppressive push. You can kind of just hide behind the minion wave, push with the Siege and the Bruiser, and okay, looks like we got some action going on. Maybe an invade.
That was a temporal loop from Chromie connecting full blast onto Ribley and that Hanzo. So that's going to be a nice kill here. And it's also going to mean that this Siege camp on the bot side is going to be able to be stolen away by Team Conflict. So heads up play there. And I really love seeing the pressure they're able to put. They saw the Hanzo all alone, perfectly timed. They know there's no cleanse available that was nearby. So great work there.
I think they needed that kill. And you know what? They don't want the same thing to happen. Team Conflict says, we don't want the same thing to happen that happened last game. We don't want to just have it where, you know, we're getting out macroed and there's too much lane pressure. They really needed that pick, and now they're going to, you know, kind of see if they can get back in this game.
Oh, great zoning here by Dengstrom. He puts out the cocoon to make sure that Hanzo can grab that Dragon Knight once again.
He should have booted him, man.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him wait for the boot, but I mean, it is Muradin. He could have dwarf tossed out anyway, so maybe not that big a deal. We do see Jason though.
Before, it would have still been on cooldown.
Oh, did he? Okay. So it looks like the second fort of the game is going to be falling here. Divine 9 just full siege pressure. Let's check out the top lane as well, because you have this Jason and Judge Bread with the combo of Malfurion and Malthael, and now you have Li Ming showing up, sieging the top. But here's the rotation coming from Team Conflict. Do they want to contest into this Bruiser wave? Remember, they have the spell armor that's given to them from that. Here's
another
a
time trap.
Yeah, temporal lube. It's cleansed this time.
Now Fail he cleanses himself. He says, "Guess what, buddy? I have inevitable end. I'm gonna self-cleanse. You cannot time trap me. Guess what? It is a big turn. Oh my lord!
Hanzo.
Kills after kills.
Hanzo picking up the Chromie there too with that extra range he's got from his arrows. Quantaka the one in trouble. 10% armor reduction coming at him. There's the burrow. Maybe the body blocks as well. The cocoon's gonna fall. Oh, and it's Greymane before he can escape behind the wall. Yeah, this has to be a secured kill on Muradin as well. No.
Oh, they spent a lot and they do not get the kill.
Yeah, you saw the Malfurion going for the Twilight Dream there. Not quite in time. The Dwarf Toss was good, able to get him away. Nonetheless.
Like a Twilight Nightmare.
Yeah, Twilight Nightmare indeed.
Wasted ultimate. No,
a little bit of a mis-execution by Li Ming and a noob, I'd say.
Nonetheless, they're able to take down the top fort, and a lot of pressure. They have a huge lead, just like we saw in game number 1. They're already 15 before Team Conflict has reached 13. So it's going to be dead even on the talent tiers for barely any time. So I think Team Conflict needs to look for a fight immediately when they hit 13 and secure the kills like right away.
I would like to point out some interesting talent pick by Nubarek going for Burning Rage. I'm assuming to spot time traps over Acid Drench Mandibles, which is a big power increase for him otherwise.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially along with the Dragon Arrow we saw from Hanzo that has a little bit of stun time, or the roots coming out from Malfurion. Maybe Acid Drench would have been the better pick, but if he can make it useful and kind of tank some front damage, get a little ticking on the enemies, maybe it'll be worth it. But I think you're right, Acid Drench probably might have been the pick there. There is another temporal loop here.
Ooh, that was a good dive though. He saved his teammate with that for sure.
And the Lucio Sunbearer comes out. Dengstrom is looking to, okay, they cannot take this fight. Their Malthael is top, but they don't, guess what? They do not die. The Nubrak taps and...
They might turn this.
Yeah, they could, because Team Conflict has spent almost all their ultis. Oh no, good finish.
Yeah, the
Good
Storm Bolt
finish.
was solid there, and the Dark Flight in, just securing the kill as quick as possible. I think he used
That
go
was
for
a
the
go
throw
for
too.
crowd. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Team Conflict needed that kill because they kind of evened out the talent tier advantage with their man up play right there. So now Divine 9 can't cap the DK. But
They
if
do
Divine
have,
9 wins, if Divine 9 doesn't die, they have advantageous re-engage.
Divine 9 does have a web wrap to turn that man advantage like off essentially, if well used.
But Malthiel's still up top, which I would love to see him come down. They already have the Shrine. They know that this is a disadvantageous fight if it's going to be taken. The Bruiser's now given away, so the Spell Armor's coming in. This is definitely going to be a secured fort, but it could be a secured Leeming as well, because that's Temporal Loop connecting huge, but the Twilight Dream hitting three members. There's the Cocoon. Quintaka retreating for his life.
Can he clean this up? You know what? Doesn't even matter. The Divine 9 says, we're going to take this 4v5.
Lucio's going to get out. He's too fast.
Yeah, too fast. Taki
he's not
scoot
wall
away.
riding. He wasn't wall riding. Then risky.
Divine 9 takes the 4v5.
But with Muradin down, that means a Nubarak can safely step on that bottom shrine, and the full team from Team Divine 9 able to walk over here to the middle, collecting their third Dragon Knight of the game. This time, instead of Hanzo, it's going to be Malthiel picking it up, and it looks like a quick march down to the bot lane.
A quick note I want to make is and you know what, I saw this in HGC, and I don't know if I know both of you may not remember, but I made a comment on kind of like the heavy physical damage tanks. It seems like Hanzo, if you get Hanzo and another spell damage assassin, Muradin can't really stay in there because that negative armor is just shredding through Muradin, and it helps with the burst from other ability damage. So Hanzo's is putting his negative armor on Muradin. Leeming's throwing on orbs and magic missiles, and Muradin is just getting shredded here. Oh, we have an engage by Nubarak. Dragon Knight is moving forward. We have a time trap in the Leeming. Oh no, sorry. On the Hanzo just escapes.
Barely.
Yeah, about 200 health again on Hanzo there. Dragon Knight now desperately whacking onto this keep because that was their initial goal with this push with the Dragon Knight. Will they get it? They do secure the keep, and it looks like a retreat's going to come out. Maybe some roots to help them escape.
Muradin just too low. Down the talent tier with your tank not having too much health. You know, you got to be careful. And Divine 9 is going for the invade. Team Conflict still does not have their 16 talent tier.
Yeah, so it's a free siege camp there. They knew they had the talents. They still had a couple ults left with the Twilight Dream and the Tormented Souls, as well as that Dragon Arrow to set it up like we saw earlier. So the double siege camp coming out. They still have their bruisers on the top side as well. I'm assuming they'll rotate immediately there. And this is actually maybe in Team Conflict's favor. It's going to give them time to clear up these camps if they want, or apply some pressure elsewhere. But they want the fight, it looks like, because they are on even talents.
Team Conflict needs to take a team fight here, definitely. But, you know, they're kind of in this
position. They might want to give this camp, actually. This seems a little...
They need to do something quick because they have double camps pushing bottom. So you either need to take that fight and win it, or get out and completely deal with the camps.
Yeah, and what we saw right there was a beautiful Tormented Souls from Malthiel, as well as the Dragon Arrow, able to lock down some of those members. So great job. Oh, and spotted was that Greymane on his Hearth, but I don't think Leeming can capture. Oh no, and she won't be able to. But Axon, great job there, riding around on that brand new Rainbow Mohawk pony.
So Team Conflict is two things were going on during that team fight. Team Conflict to come back in this game, they need to take a team fight and they need to win the team fight. But the one big condition was they need to do it quick. As you see, Divine 9 said, you know what? Even though we don't have a talent tier, we're gonna just have these Mercs push bottom. And Mercs were just putting incredible pressure. Team Conflict had the back. Obviously, no core damage was taken, but if Divine 9 kind of stalled their backs, they could have lost some points off the core.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great attempt by Muradin trying to jump in to steal the Bruiser and really make it happen. But the Twilight Dream was immediate, locking down any sort of contention that he would have put. And the rest of the team wasn't able to get around the side of the wall on that side. So 20s are picked up. Divine 9 with the favor, but this is Hanzo being caught out by Quantaka in that Murd, and there's leaping strikes twice connecting from Lunara. Not quite enough damage. There's a temper loop self-cleansed by Malkio again.
Malkio going on the Chromie. Arrow big, triple stun with Torment of Souls. This is it. This may spell horror for the enemy.
Lunara is still webbed behind too. Will they finish it? There's Lehman connecting, 200 health. She's gonna fall
all
to a Calamity.
Herself. Doesn't even need her team.
Yeah, this is get to the bot lane, finish this game out. Level 20s, too strong. Divine 9 looking like they're going to secure the 2-0 domination in this Division C West Week 2 matchup against Team Conflict.
That was a scary engage for Team Conflict to be up there. It's really hard, to be down a talent tier. Then, Divine 9 also had the bottom shrine already capped, so they had all the advantages. GG, well played.
GG. All right, so I know we have a couple of these guys hanging out in chat. I'd love to see if they want to hop in for a quick interview. I have a couple questions about how that went down, and maybe they'd be willing to join us. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
So Jason, Judge Brett, if you guys are around, I see Ribley there as well. If you guys all want to hop in and hang out, we'll be in the NGS lobby, and come chat. So I'm gonna head over there now.
So, guys, thoughts on the games? Anything that you noticed that came out from my casters?
I really like the aggression and obviously the advantage they were able to take with the side soak and getting kills and getting camps. Like they had in both games that 16-13 advantage that like really played into their favor.
They just even in team fights, I think they simply out executed them, had a stronger were more in tone for team fights.
I'm gonna agree with you on both those things, and it's whenever you're a team, you kind of you have to reflect on what's your strengths, right? And obviously the macro and team fighting are both good strengths to have, and it seemed like they were definitely executing and keeping their macro up.
Oh, it looks like joining us here is Ribley. We saw him play that Hanzo in game 2. What's going on, Ribley?
Nothing much, guys. Thanks for casting for us.
Heck yeah, man. It was a pleasure. A replay cast. We want to make sure that all of our patrons get their stuff casted here at NGS. So we were very happy to help with that. Any thoughts? Game 1, we saw Infernal Shrines. Were you able to catch that replay here?
I didn't catch that one. I do remember that game, though.
So we were just talking about how in both games, Divine 9, you guys had that 16-13 advantage twice, and going up against Team Conflict, is there anything specific you saw that led you to get that sort of level lead in both games?
Well, Dankstrom is our shot caller, and we've been scouting Team Conflict for a while, and we knew if we banned some of their comfort picks, we could probably out-macro them, and once we have our talent lead, we could probably team fight and push for the win.
Yeah, we obviously didn't get to see the draft, so were there any heroes in particular that you're trying to ban away?
Mostly Stukov and Chromie, but we didn't catch the Chromie ban on the second game.
Yeah, they actually did have the Chromie in game number 1 as well. Rexpa playing that twice here tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, and I know Rexpa, he loves that hero, so I can tell why you'd want to target that away.
On that, were you guys scared of the Chromie at all? Because both games she just heavy engaged on her, so it didn't really seem like that would be a character you feared. It was more like a just stomp the dwarf sort of situation.
We were afraid mostly of them setting up these areas we couldn't team fight in. We knew if we could get rid of the Chromie, they don't have as much of a team fight potential, so that was our main focus.
I would like to ask Ribley, so just continuing on the Chromie discussion. So obviously Lucio is a very high tier pick, but did you feel that the Lucio, you have that moose speed aura? Did you feel like that was also an added benefit against the Chromie? It's like, okay, we're gonna make sure this Chromie has a very difficult time hitting, or was it kind of just one of those things where it just helped, or what tools did you use to deal with the Chromie?
Well, we know from Caldor that Lucio is the best right now, so we really just fit the rest of our draft around being able to dive in and stay in and win the fight every time.
Good answer.
Yeah, and so game 2, we saw what appeared to me to be a really disgusting lockdown comp. You had the Anubarak, you had the Dragon Arrow that you played on that Hanzo, as well as the Roots from Malfurion. So is that a specific sort of team comp you guys like using, some of those heavy CC comps?
Yeah, we usually do. We always go for as much CC as we could possibly use in team fights, and we like the Hanzo. We like a Anubarak. We like Malfurion. So it all just came together and worked perfectly together.
Yeah, it was very beautiful execution. I know the Twilight Dream secured quite a few kills, especially there in that last fight. Rising, anything else to add?
Why Burning Rage on a noob?
I don't know his thought process. He's a tank. If it works, it works. I'm not pushing for any certain talents. He chose Burning Rage. It worked in our favor. We took the win.
One final question. This one coming from the chat. It's Dankstrom, and he asks, ask Ribley how boosted he is.
I'm super boosted. Usually by Lucio speed boost.
All right, we're going to sign off here. Before we go, though, Ribley, you want to give some shout-outs?
I just want to give shout out to my team, playing well. We've done better and better as the season's gone on. Really like my team. We're doing awesome. I hope we keep doing awesome.
So I believe that puts you guys at 2-2-0. So I think that's good for 8 points in Division B West. So congratulations there. It should be towards the top. Definitely in playoff contention. So congratulations once again for the 2-0 victory here in this replay cast. Signing off, it's myself, Murda here, along with SoLucky, Rising, and joining us for this interview was Ribley. Everyone out there, thank you for joining us. Have a great night.